So I've got a plan. What we're going to do...
Hello folks, welcome back to the Digging Park. It's Thursday the 18th of February, and looking at the wreckage of a boat that was called the Black Dog. Unfortunately, these guys, Jared Simpson and Nick Murray, I don't know the bowman, but they had a pretty ordinary day out in the harbour yesterday. Prior to the start of the race, they were having a tune-up with a spinnaker on, usual pace, probably 15 to 20 knots, and they came across a far 40 that was ducking another far 40. They were in a race, and unfortunately for these guys, they came to grips with them. There was a T-bone, the 40 T-boned this boat. Now I'll try and explain. There's damage all over this thing. I'm standing on the wing, which is completely destroyed, as you can see, and Black Dog was on port jibe, so you can imagine them on this wing. They're all hanging out the side, keeping the boat upright, as you do, and they've got T-bone to leeward. Blake, if you can just show, that's the initial, I think that's the initial impact, where they've gone into the deck line of the boat. Oh, hang on, no, that's not completely right, because they would have had to go through the wing. What they did is picked up the wing bar. There's a structural bit of mylar cord that keeps the wings. They picked that up apparently, which started a chain reaction, and the boat then went into a whole gyration whereby it ripped. The boat came into windward on them. That's when the bow of the far 40 went through the side of it. Took a whole lot of pain through the deck here. You can see that's all been structurally wiped out, and then the wings on this side, which was caused by the prang with the other wing, where they first went, ripped out this, which is a wing bar support, took out the other one, which is that piece of action, which holds the rig up. That's got the shrouds on it, so that came off, and the other one is destroyed as well. But it's what happened, how lucky the crew were. The boat ended up capsizing to windward on them. The crew are now under the water. The rig comes out of the boat, and the whole thing is upside down without a rig, and the crew come up on the other side of the boat, luckily. That's how Grant Rollerson told me. It's probably 50% right, but just the damage of the boat, you can work it out for yourself. It got mangled. So poor old Black Dog is now sidelined. She's on the sideline with Lumix that got wiped out on, I think it was the invitation race or the first race on Saturday, can't recall. But two boats out of competition as a result of collision. So it gets pretty dangerous out in this harbour, as you can tell. So that's the explanation of that mess. What I'd like to do is try and find Stephen Quigley, if I can get a lamp on him. Just come with me, Blake. Stephen, come and have a word, mate. Just tried to explain this is Stephen Quigley, just having lunch. How are you, mate?
Well, thanks.
We're just trying to explain to the folks how that incident occurred over there. It was just basically a mess. I think I explained it 50% right. Did you get any clear indication of who was at fault? I think it was both boats unsighted. No idea.
I wouldn't like to comment, Killer.
Okay, too much.
It's probably going to be subject of
an inquiry.
Some sort of inquiry, so we don't want to be controversial on live TV.
No. Well, Stephen, part of your background is you're a board member here.
Yes.
And you're the measurer of the class. You're a naval architect. Yep. You've won a JJ earlier times.
Yep.
And
20 years ago.
20 years ago. So you're still looking fit, fine and dandy to see.
My hair's not the same colour as it was.
No, you're allowed to do that. But the whole idea for you is to have some fun, and your son Tom, who's been a keen sailor, you brought him up as a skiffy, dinghy sailor.
That's right. Manly juniors, flying 11s.
And progress him into the 18s.
Straight in. Take a big step up.
How's it working out? I think you're going well.
Well,
Frank.
Yeah, well, this is really our first year in it, or a half year, and we're still, we've got a boat that's 7 years old, and Woody's big rig and Jack's little rig, and we're still getting it all together. But look, every day is a new adventure for us.
Yeah.
I think our crew work's coming together. We're starting to actually get to a position where speed's competitive across a broad range, and we can start to race. Race tactically, and I think it's coming together really well.
Mate, I'm impressed, I've got to tell you. And
we're sort of hovering around the 11th or 12th overall out of 30, and we're really happy with that.
So, this colt here, this is not Tom.
Sam Ellis.
How you going?
Sam's sailing as a mate of Tom's, is he? They've sailed together?
And we met Sam. He was a coach at Scots College.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the sailing coaches, and the schools here concentrate on teams racing, as you probably know.
Yeah.
So Tom's been doing a lot of teams racing, and Sam's one of his coaches there. But Sam's got a distinguished history in flying 11s and 29ers. And
so you're doing the bow, Sam?
No, he's
I'm
on
the sheet.
Nice bit of muscle on the sheet, mate. You need that. So how are you finding this class?
Oh, I love it. I've done 2 years before with Haya a couple of years ago, but getting on board with Steve and Tom, it's just been a really good learning experience, and really loving having some good gear and getting around the track pretty safely with Steve on the back. So enjoying it.
And getting some good rides. You guys aren't scared to throw them up. I've noticed that. You'll have a crack. That's the best part of 18-footer sailing, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, we had a crack the other day and just made it around George's head and then got launched and fell in behind a ferry, and that wasn't a good idea. Went from 10th to 20th or something. So.
But it is the rides that bring you back every week. You just sort of lie sometimes half asleep in the morning, you go, smile on your face.
Even if you have a bad day, it's still fun.
Yeah. Well, listen, good. You're going okay. I saw you about halfway through the pile on points. Discards today. Where are you exactly?
I don't know where we are discard-wise, but we probably can't discard.
Alcatel one touch. That was yesterday's result, was it?
I think we're 11th.
Well, that's bloody good.
It's all right. We're sniffing around.
You might even improve on that.
Well, today
cunning.
Well, we haven't had a day where it suited the little guys. We're like 220 kilos against 250, and they've all been extreme up-range days.
Yeah, they have.
So today's the first day that we will get within our sweet spot, we hope.
Yeah.
So
go for it.
We'll be all right.
Stephen. Good
Okay.
night. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Righto.
Cheers, Bob.
Cheers, mate. What do we got? I had a list here. Hang on. Trying to get organised.
in the same spot though.
C-Tech. I'd like to talk to Ginge if he's there. No, empty boat. C-Tech had another bad day yesterday. They were well up. If you watch the race video, they were well up, and first set they trashed their spinnaker, so that was the end of that race day for them. They've been involved in some protests, and they actually won one against Simon Nern the other day in a collision they had with them, and it was ruled in favour of C-Tech, but I just heard that Simon's going to take that back to the room and see if he can beat them. This is having a great relationship. DeLonghi versus C-Tech. Funny stuff. Look, that's about all I can find. I know there's plenty of stories here, but I'll give you the Pick the Podium update. We've got a guy called Dallas as of yesterday's race. Dallas has jumped right up to share the lead, and I would think on a countback he'd be leading JB, who was leading for the last couple of days. Dallas would have scored a perfect podium. Well done, Dallas. Not an easy thing to do. So that's the first straight podium winner, but that's got those 3 points have taken him up to the lead with JB. Today, I put the blog up this morning. I hope you had a quick look at it. It's a pretty interesting competition, as we said. There's a whole pile of boats that haven't really got cracking, and we're just talking to Stephen Quigley, and sort of day to day where lightning, big rig, light cruise, you know, it wouldn't surprise me to see those guys get on the podium. But there's a whole pile of boats that will try and get into the action today. And today is the last race. And at the end of the race, when I say the last race, at the end of this race is when the discard comes into play. So that will move the points around. We'll get Bucko to give you the heads up on that on the camera cat once we get all the boats across, and yeah, we'll have it all set up. Then the serious part starts. There's probably 5 boats we can think that are going to fight for it coming into Saturday and Sunday. So it's a nicely set up regatta, this one. That's it for me. We've got Gins, have we? Trying to find Ginge. He's doing a Michael Coxon. Whereabouts, Michael?
Just on the other side of the, they're through there. Just talking to Nurse.
I'll get him tomorrow. He's deeply engrossed in a conversation. As I was saying, that'll do us. See you out in the water at 3 o'clock start and get those picks in. You've still got time. Scratch your head and get them in. Bye for now.
Beautiful.